Now, I have no evidence of who actually put the zombie in my cartographer tower, but I asked if I should prank back without any evidence, and 79% of you said yes. So be sure to stay tuned to the very end of this episode to see how I get my revenge for putting a zombie in my tower. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Shifted Reality, Season 1, Episode 22. We are coming back and closing out our year of 2024 with a celebration of our subscribers. That's right, everyone who has subscribed by the end of December 2024 will have a unique firework launched off for them from the top of our main castle keep. Then ringing in the new year with a fun celebration of fireworks for all of our loyal fans. Thank you again for coming with us on this journey. I hope to see many more like it, and I hope that you are here to join us for many more. So we left off the last episode looking at where we were going with this road, departing from our base and connecting with Biases, which is on the other side of that river, just past this mushroom farm. Now, why did someone ever need that many mushrooms to create a massive farm for it? I will never know, but it is a unsightly obstacle in our terrain, and so we're just going to try to put a little facade over it and make it look better. We're not going to remove it or damage someone else's farm, but we are going to work at making it blend in. Now you'll notice that we have put on a little bit of a foundation as to what we're planning to do here. We are going to build up a large mountain to cover this up, allowing it to still be accessible and allowing the farm to be used if in the future Wrecker ever comes back and decides that he needs more. But the simple fact is, there's a reason why most people, when they build large industrial farms, they build them far away from any of their bases. And while this is a nice effective use of game mechanics, it doesn't really create anything sightly or enhancing for the overall build of the base. All it is just a little detector. When the mushroom spreads, the observer detects it, sets off a piston, and a minecart hopper comes by to pick it up, which is currently broken because there are no minecart hoppers. But I don't think they really matter that much because they have more mushrooms than they will probably ever use. So let's get to work on building up the cover for this to make it a little bit more sightly for our enjoyment of the terrain. You know, it's been a while since we've had a good old-fashioned time-lapse build. So let's get on out with this one, because I want to hurry up and get this done so I can check out the new Winter Drop update box. And just like that, it's as if the farm never existed. You may have noticed as I was doing it in the time lapse, I used the stone and andesite on the outside with the tuff transitioning to the deep slate on the inside. Again, to give that illusion of deeper shadows. I'm going to do that on multiple points, so it just looks like there's cave entrances and, if anyone ever comes back to use this farm, then this would be the way you'd come in and create an entrance for it. And of course, it might become a bit of a mob farm inside of there because I don't have any natural lighting inside anymore, but maybe that'll also make the mushrooms grow better. I don't know. I'm not really into the mushroom mechanics. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, I started off with as much of a chaotic, jagged pattern, but I knew I needed to achieve a certain level of verticality to cover up the entire thing. And so you do end up with some sharp corners and some tall sides that seem kind of plain. And you could probably spend a month tweaking and fiddling with these and never being fully satisfied. So at a certain point, when you do these kind of natural formations that are trying to mimic the vanilla terrain, but also create something new and original, sometimes you just need to cut bait and, call it good for now. You can always come back later if there's a spot that you walk past 50,000 times and it really bothers you. But in the meantime, let your mind adjust to the feeling of having that item or that new structure or terrain in your base, and then see where it takes you from there. So Train wanted me to come over here and get some opinions on triangles that he's making. Where is he at? There he is. Oh, I see. He's asking for some feedback on kind of industrial style skylights that he is putting onto his building. Now, I've actually done this before, but when I did it, I used yellow glass and I framed it with brick. So I'm thinking if he replaces these sides with brick and uses yellow glass instead of clear or white stained glass, I think it would look a little better. But unfortunately, there's only really one way to find out. So while Strange Tonic kind of considers my advice and continues working on his build, we of course are moving on. And again, I was going through this quickly because I really want to move on to finding a pale garden so that I can take advantage of the new updates. So we just extended our road out here to our new mountain that happens to be outside of our base, and started to point the direction of where the bridge would go, but I didn't really finish it or take it all the way across to where Bias's road is for his base, because again, I'll be just reviewing it with him and making sure that this is the area. Otherwise, and we can always wrap it back around and take it in a different direction this way, or drop it down and then take it across the river. Depends on what he's looking at and what his thoughts are in that matter. And then since last time they thought my bridge supports were a bit lackluster, I did go for a more secure bridge this time. Again, sometimes you just play things by ear and wait to see how many times creepers blow you up, and then if you get too annoyed, you come back and fix it later. But now let's see if we can't go out and find any pale gardens in the world. Of course, naturally, we have to travel pretty far since this server has been up and running for closing in on a year now, and we are looking at new chunks that have never been loaded previously if we want to find our pale garden. A ruined portal without any obsidian for the partial portal. This is not a good sign that we are outside of previously loaded chunks yet. Well, someone left a bunch of garbage behind. But definitely someone has been here before, so we need to keep moving on. And 10,000 blocks of traveling later, we are at the new biome. I don't know if this is a fully stocked biome or if it's partially loaded chunk, but at the very least, let's hope that we can get a creaking heart and some resin in here. Maybe some of the other gray blocks, such as the moss, and get some saplings. let's get our new wood types and our new materials to work with. Well, based on the weird areas of green grass on top and snowy biome sides of the grass blocks, I'm going to guess that even if this place hasn't been fully loaded before, it was at least shadow loaded. But hopefully there's still a chance we can get our creaking hearts that we want amongst the other items that are available. Alright, so night is falling. This is the first time I've ever been in the Pale Garden as the sun sets. Let's hope we can find a... Don't want zombies. Don't want skeletons. I want the creaking. I see one. Oh, I don't think he's that far from his... Yeah, I'm saying there's a bit of a... The more I hit this guy, the more resin should appear, right? Resin's appearing on this tree. Oh, got my first resin chunks. There it is, creaking heart. Do you need silk touch to pick these up? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I need silk touch or not. Well, I killed him. I didn't bring a silk touch axe, so I think I broke it. Okay, yeah, I did not get the creaking heart because I don't have silk touch on this axe. Oh, shoot. I do get some resin, though. I think you can craft them. Ah, come on. See if we can't find another one. What was that? Hello, buddy. Alright, we got resin on this tree, so that's where the creaking heart is. Gotta do with the skeleton. Hi, buddy. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to get as much resin on that tree as possible, so if I die, I can find it again easy. I did set my spawn nearby. Alright, there's your heart. I see your heart. Now I wonder if I can pick it up with a silk touch pickaxe. That. Oh, you better not blow up my heart. Alright, so this is where I got blown up at. Is there a... Oh, the heart's still there, thank God. I was seriously afraid I was going to come back here and find out the creeper blew up the heart. Alright, consolidated some of my stuff down into some bundles. And let's see if a silk touch pickaxe can grab the creaking heart. Because I wasn't smart to bring a silk touch axe. Cross my fingers. And I have one. Alright, because if I'm right, you can use these to set up a farm for resin and everything else and make more of them. Right? Alright, let's work again some more saplings and get back home. Alright, so I left the pale garden with half a stack of resin, which gave me enough to make 3 more blocks of resin, then combined with pale oak logs, unstripped as required, I was able to make 3 creaking hearts to go with the one I collected with the Silk Touch pickaxe. And again, I do recommend that if you are going for a creaking heart, bring a Silk Touch axe, proper tools, proper jobs. Now, if I'm right, I should be able to recreate my own creaking just by hello. And then I hit him. Where's the other guy at, though? Shouldn't there be 2 guys here? I'm sure someone's going to figure out a way quickly enough to automate this, but in the meantime, I will be able to get more resin for experimentation on the new blocks. Yeah, hindsight, I probably should have tried making my little mini resin farm down here during the day when these guys don't spawn. But that's okay. These guys are kind of fun. Red light, green light, red light, green light. Did it just become daytime? Ah, yes. Once the sun rises, they go away. But let's see how much resin we were able to collect. I don't know why I only got one of the guys to summon. I thought I should at least get 4 of them. But we will keep playing with this and see if we can't get anything better. Well, that at least gave me enough resin to make 2 more creaking hearts. And as far as manual farms go, I think this is one that it will kind of work out a little bit better as a 2-person farm, at least as a manual farm, where you have one person holding the creakings in place and striking them to get the resin to generate, and a second person who can freely come up here and collect the resin as it forms, because once it forms, it doesn't seem to form anymore, and you need to clear off the old resin before you can get new. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So we went ahead and put that theory to the test, where I was distracting the creakers and hitting them, generating the resin, and one of my kids was collecting the resin as it spawned. Now, with just the 2 of us, we weren't really able to keep up. He said many times he wasn't able to collect all the resin, but still, well, just me and one of my kids working together to harvest resin. I kept the creaking at bay and kept hitting them. He collected the resin off the blocks, and that gave us just shy of 4.5 stacks of resin, or enough resin to make 31 resin blocks, which is going to be enough to make 31 creaking hearts. Now, why would I want 31 creaking hearts, you might ask? I asked if you thought I should prank back, even though I didn't have evidence as to who pranked me, and the majority of you said, yeah, prank away. So what we're going to do is we are going to bury these in somebody's base without them knowing. And then when they log in, all of a sudden their base is going to be primed full of creakings everywhere around them. Now, it's not too bad. I am giving them the benefit of having free creaking hearts without having to go out 10,000 blocks like I did. They should actually be thanking me for this. And now the next time it gets dark around his base, he'll just water. I'm like, whoa, what's with all the creakings? They'll be everywhere for him. I just gotta be careful not to hit any of these guys right now because I don't want to create the resin so he sees where they're... And as I always say, if you leave a prank, make sure you should leave a calling cord so they know who gave the prank. So even if we are wrong about who put the zombie in our cartographer tower, they can still get the revenge if they want it. Well, as it turns out, 79% of the people who took my poll said I should complete the prank, even if I'm not entirely certain who did it, and I have no evidence to prove that they did. So I hope you enjoyed the prank that I did do, and come back next week so we can see what we can build with these new resin bricks. Have a good one, everyone.